My wife Amy is a sexual abuse survivor. She was abused horribly, raped repeatedly by her older brother until she got past the age of 12, and he just stopped for some unknown reason. Now, she didn't tell anybody about all that back then. He threatened to kill her, and her friends and her family held a knife to her at one point if she said anything. But she was able to compartmentalize it and just stuff it way down. Incidentally, Amy lost her mom unexpectedly when Amy was only 19. And so her mom went to her grave never knowing about the horrible things that Amy had suffered. But it wasn't until years later, one morning when Amy was standing in her bedroom folding some laundry, and her oldest child, her daughter, comes walking in. And at that time, her daughter was almost the age at which Amy was when her abuse began. And Amy just collapsed that morning to the floor. Now, she didn't pass out or anything. She said she was just lying there, just rigid, couldn't hardly breathe. She didn't know what was happening, so she ended up at the hospital, and they couldn't find anything physically or medically wrong with her. So they sent her up to psych. And that's where she met a therapist who's one of the most amazing humans I've ever known, and my therapist today, and still Amy's therapist as well. That's where she met an incredible therapist who began to just peel back the layers of Amy's life. And he was the first person she ever told about all of the horrific things that she survived. And it took time. It took a lot of therapy, and she was under his care. She was under psychiatric care. She was clinically diagnosed with PTSD and major depressive disorder. They had her on different medications, trying to fine-tune all that over time to get her help from a pharmacological standpoint. But it was the therapy, the telling of it, the ability to unpack it and put it into context in her life that allowed her to move forward. Now, I'm not telling you anything she wouldn't tell you herself if she were here and you'd asked her, or anything she hadn't written about publicly or spoken about. But I can tell you this. I can tell you that when she first spoke to her therapist about it, and then later to her family, and then some of her close friends who knew her brother growing up, and then ultimately even to me, not one of us said it was a hoax. Not one of us said, well, it doesn't matter. That's all irrelevant because, McDonald's got this new $8 Big Mac meal deal. That's the cheapest Big Mac they've sold in a while. No, nobody said anything like that.